Good morning. This is your second favorite Capstone coordinator, Mr. Ryder. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about organizing your presentation and give you a layout for the actual day so you can be as successful as possible on May 28th, which is only 3 weeks and a day from today. So organizing your presentation. We encourage you to use an organizational tool such as Notes, PowerPoint, or Prezi to help you organize and deliver your information. Please remember when you are making your presentation not to overwhelm your audience with too much information on each slide. Please proofread as well. Your presentation should have clear sections which can be broken down into an introduction, topic selection, fieldwork, learning stretch, research, personal growth, impact of the project, and conclusion, which the impact is typically your conclusion in most cases. Also earlier, when you talk about topic selection, you may also choose to discuss your mentor at that point as well, although it's not mandatory. When giving your presentation, you want to emphasize speaking rather than reading your presentation. Remember from our advisory sessions, memorize ideas, not words. Your presentation should be 8 to 12 minutes long, have a recognizable introduction and conclusion. Remember, during our advisory speeches from Mr. Bodner, Mr. Capstone, and myself, we really encourage you to open with an impact statement, a powerful quote, a surprising statistic, an unexpected fact, a question, a personal story, something other than the typical, hi, my name is, and I did this for my project, which is pretty boring and not engaging for the audience. You also want to include information on how you chose your capstone project. Next, you describe your fieldwork. You can talk about what insights you gained from the fieldwork experience, and this should take some time since you spent 20 hours in the field. You want to describe your learning stretch, how it stretched the skills and knowledge you already had. You could also talk about problem solving at this point. Throughout the presentation, you want to tie in the research you did from your annotated bibliography. Remember, we also spoke earlier about how it's most effective if you fit each piece of research where it best fits in the presentation and not simply on one slide. Describe your growth as an individual throughout the entire project. And last, you talk about how the project did or might change your life and or professional goals. So what are the future implications of your capstone project? And it is more than okay to say, you know what, after my fieldwork, after this project, I realized I no longer want to go into whatever it is that you had chosen as your topic. Your presentation must include an audio-visual aid, such as a poster, a recording, a video, something that you made throughout your project. This will help your audience better understand what you did and what you learned from your project. If it resulted in an actual product, definitely bring it in and include it as part of your presentation. You should remember that PowerPoint or Prezi only counts as an organizational tool and not an audio-visual aid. If you do upload a video into your PowerPoint or Prezi or just to show it to us, that's fine, but it should not take up more than 2 minutes of the presentation time. The rubric. It's out of a possible 42 points, you will need 30 points to pass. So what follows will be the meets standard indicators for the following categories that we're going to look at. Language and delivery. So eye contact, speaking clearly and confidently, engaging your audience, appearing calm and confident. Organization and preparation. Introducing the topic clearly, using transitions instead of ums and ahs. A coherent conclusion, proper organization, and effectively utilizing the notes or presentation structure that you have chosen. Media. You want to use audiovisual supports to convey your desired information. Again, remember PowerPoint or Prezi or Google Presentation even is considered organizational. And a big reminder, please come in and use a teacher laptop at some point prior to May 28th and make sure your presentation will work on that computer. And just a quick side note, if you choose to use Google Presentation and plan to upload a video, the easiest way is through YouTube. You'll need an account to do that. On the other hand, if you use PowerPoint or Prezi, you can upload a video without needing a YouTube account. Content clearly defines topic or main ideas, provides sufficient and relevant information throughout most of the presentation. So that bold underlined indicator, there are 2 of those on the rubric. You need to get a 3 or higher on that to pass your presentation. Synthesizes, so puts it all together, looks at the big picture of the experience to form insights, provides evidence of problem solving in a learning stretch, and referencing at least 2 of the sources you used in your annotated bibliography. If you use all 3, that'll get you a 4, exceeding the standard, and of course quality counts too. You not only want to talk about what the source was, but what you gained from it. I'll go back real quick. And please remember again, the better presentations incorporate each source where it best fits in the presentation. We stress that during our advisory speeches to you, and that is something the judges will be looking for, and we have found that the presentations that do that go much smoother and usually get a higher score. Questions and answers, so here's that second indicator that's bold and underlined. The question and answer session occurs at the conclusion of your presentation. It does not count for the 8 to 12 minutes that you'll be scored on. And basically judges will have a few minutes to ask questions, and we'll be looking for you to answer them knowledgeably, coherently, and confidently. Appearance. So last year we decided to make this much easier. You're scored on a 1 or a 2 instead of 1 out of 4. Basically, a 2 is meets standard, 1 is below standard, and below you can see a few pointers in terms of what to wear for both males and females. Typically, you want to look nice. Think of a future job interview, what you would wear for that. Length of presentation. So below standard, less than 6 minutes. Near standard, 6 to 8. Meeting the standard, 8 to 10. Exceeding the standard, 10 to 12. We will have someone in the room, one of the judges, that will have time cards available at about 6, 8, 10, and 11 minutes to hold up for you quietly if you choose to use them, so you can sort of pace yourself that way. The portfolio. Completed portfolio has neat, well-organized exhibits, mostly correct language, and adequate timeliness in meeting capstone deadlines. So please know that your portfolio will have already been reviewed and scored prior to the arrival of the judges, and it is your first impression on them. However, we would recommend, when you go into that room the first time, introduce yourself to the judges who are there. And as always, you should know that if you did not complete your project or portfolio in a timely manner, you will not be allowed to present on May 28th. That final deadline is 2 days from today, on Friday, May 8th. There will be no extensions because this is the extension. You should have been done by April 2nd. A completed portfolio has the cover page, letter of intent, mentor-parent acknowledgement form, 3 sources of the annotated bibliography, 2 journals, scored with the rubrics, signed by your mentor time log, the reflection paper, which is also scored by a rubric, and the letter of recommendation from your mentor. Pretty much all the information I've gone over can be found on pages 44 to 48 of your handbook, so use that, please. And then, as always, come see us if you have any questions. May 28th, so here's how it works. You will have an early dismissal that day, somewhere around 10 a.m., I believe. You will have time to get some lunch, hang out with your friends a little bit in the cafeteria, get dressed if you need to, into what you're going to wear for your presentation, and they will begin promptly at 12 p.m. in the room that you are assigned. There will be 4 to 5 students per room presenting. You will present your project, then you will sit, the next student will go. After everyone has presented, the judge will ask you to leave the room and then call you back in individually after they have combined their scores and come up with an average, and then tell you if they pass that way. So there will be no one else in the room. The juniors will not be there. It'll just be you talking to the judges when they go over your final score. Okay, we wish you luck. Please see us for questions. Please practice, practice, practice. There's no substitute for it. It'll eliminate a lot of your fears, your anxiety, those ums and ahs. Videotape yourself and watch it. Just practice, practice, practice. Do not practice until you get the speech wrong. Do not practice until you get the speech right. Practice until you can't get the speech wrong. So next, your advisory teacher is going to show you a Capstone video from last year. It's not a perfect video. There are positives and negatives to it. A few of the things I want you to recognize is the opening. Again, we're steering you away from the way she opens, which is, "Hi, my name is, and my project is this." We don't want you to do that. We want you to engage your audience right off the bat. Notice a lot of the ums and ahs that are used. You want to stay away from those, obviously. Try to use transitions. And you should always face the front of the room. Face your judges, not the smartboard, which is why I always recommend to my students printing their presentation. If you do a PowerPoint, print it 3 slides per page. You can take notes next to it, and that way you're facing the audience the whole time and not having to turn and look at the smartboard to see what's on it. Okay, so good luck.